Hi, I'm Peter Gordon, I'm a chef and I'm a New Zealander, and I'm going to show Will how to make gorgeous roast New Zealand lamb lunch for his wife.
That's correct. I'm Will Greenwood, I'm an ex-rugby player and I'm a complete buffoon in the kitchen. I've cooked 3 meals in my entire life. I'm stereotypically northern, I followed my dad's lead, I come home, I like the supper to be on the table, wife in a pinny, having prepared it. However, life has now changed, the world has now changed, and I need to spread out my horizons and learn how to be a real man, which involves making a sumptuous Sunday lamb roast for my wife and 3 children, allowing my wife to go off, have a beauty treatment, come back, and everything to be prepared magically, like it is for me, 364 days of the year.
Excellent. And you've got a beautiful pinny.
Well, in golf, the right glove, the right clubs, they say all the gear, no idea.
Okay.
So that would be my basic premise today.
Okay. We've got the lamb, the hero of the dish, the New Zealand lamb. Onions, garlic, rosemary and thyme are going to become part of the marinade. We're going to be throwing in some parsnips, we're going to be throwing in some baby carrots. We're going to make a mash, and then it's going to be finished off with some lovely green vegetables. Your favourite, I believe?
Yeah, no,
broccoli.
35 years without eating a vegetable until a fantastic Kiwi chef called Solomon Othello introduced me, and ever since then I've embraced the vegetables, apart from 3: broccoli, cauliflower, sprouts.
Oh, well, you're going to have one of them today. So, onion marinade. Under this chopping board, I put a cloth, because the cloth stops the board sliding.
Yeah.
Put 3-4 cloves of garlic in here. So you've been to New Zealand, haven't you?
4 or 5 times, touring.
Squash it with your knife.
Yeah.
And then
Which just softens it up.
yeah.
There we go.
Yep. So 4 or 5 times.
4 or 5 times, mainly on tour, but more recently, World Cup time, obviously, being over. But I've always been on tour, so you've been in hotels, haven't seen the beauty of the country. But this time round, went to the Branket Estate, Marlborough, the Hooker Falls, the Hooker Lodge.
Beautiful.
Where's that? Lake Taupo,
Lake Taupo.
superb. I saw a little bit more of the country other than a hotel and a training field. And it was nice also not to get my head beaten in, because basically when you go to New Zealand as a rugby player, as an Englishman, physical violence follows, it's part of the norm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold your rosemary, just pull the leaves off. Same with the thyme.
Yeah.
But actually with the thyme, what we'll do is we'll go straight into the bowl. Rosemary here, we're just going to roughly chop.
So remind us, so far we've had an onion, we've done 3 or 4 cloves of garlic, had rosemary, 3 or 4 sticks, and some thyme, 3 or 4 sticks. Pulled off, chopped, job done. And that would be now known as, what is that? What's that?
Well, at this
the
point,
basis
it's nothing, but once we put this olive oil on, it's a marinade.
How much oil have you just put in?
That would be about 1/3 of a teacup, bit of salt, and then some peppercorns.
And being a complete simpleton, that is a leg.
That's a leg of lamb,
Yes.
With the lamb here now, I'm just going to stab around, and it means that a lot of the flavours are going to come in from this little marinade we've made.
Yeah.
And then you're going to rub this all over. Now
And
rub all
the
that
fascinating thing about my existence with my wife is the fact that she was a vegetarian.
Oh, really?
Complete and utter vegetarian.
And you were a non-veggie?
So for the first 5 or 6 years,
Yeah.
she was still a vegetarian,
Yeah.
and was cooking 2 meals every time we
Plonk
ate.
some of that on the top as well. So
And
does
then
that
she
mean...
gave in first and decided to eat meat and burgers.
Okay.
And then I now eat vegetables. So now we can actually share a meal
Some
together.
of that one on top as well. And then in 20 minutes time this goes in the oven. Okay, so it's had 20 minutes. This goes in the oven. So it's around 180 degrees or 170 with a fan
and it's
forced
been
oven.
warmed.
The oven's preheated, and we're going to give that an hour. Okay, so the lamb's been in for an hour.
Right.
The parsnips, I now need you, with your chopping skills, just to chop it into chunks.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Lamb, flip her over, but we pour on a bit of water, about 3/4 of a teacup. The parsnips have a habit of burning, so this here allows them to steam slightly.
Okay.
And then we just put them back in. Okay, so the lamb with the parsnips had 40-45 minutes.
Yes.
Use a nice clean dry cloth. I'll lift this up. You add the carrots.
And the lamb will end up being cooked how?
Medium. If you cook it rare, it can be quite chewy. And to be honest, the flavour develops in these mussels if it's cooked medium. Broccoli.
Broccoli, oh no, really? Do we have to?
So for this, we're going to be having buttered peas and broccoli and mashed potatoes. So
Super.
Have you ever prepped
I've
broccoli?
not touched broccoli before.
Okay, come on, go with it. Pick it up.
Brain.
Like that. Okay. Now what you want to do with this is snap it apart, okay?
Yeah.
Chop the big ones down in half.
Yes.
Keep the small ones as they are.
Yes.
Because with cooking, what you're trying to do is make sure it all cooks in the same amount of time.
Right.
They'll be in there. We've got frozen peas and then spuds. So they're just boiling away, and this is going to be mashed with cream and butter. So the lamb's cooked.
Yes.
Yep. Time to bring it out of the oven. Just going to turn the oven off as well.
Beast.
Now what we want to do is rest it. If you were to slice this now, all the juices run out and the meat tightens up. So you just want to rest it for, say, 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
So if you cover that with a bit of foil, seal her up.
And it's not a perfect science yet.
No, that's good.
You got it?
Then the veggies are just going to come out of here because I'm going to make the gravy in this roasting dish. So this in the oven I've turned off. And we've got the mash to make. So what I've got here are the spuds have just boiled in lightly salted water.
Yes.
Drain them in a colander. And then back butter and cream in here. Near enough a cup of cream. Okay, cream and butter to the boil. Spuds go in. Grab your masher, give that a good munch up. And season it with salt and pepper. Right, that goes to one side.
This goes straight in the sink and get ready to wash.
In the sink, yep. We've now got our lightly salted water for our broccoli. And we're going to make gravy. If for some reason all these little bits on the bottom, which are the onions and the garlic, have burnt, which can happen if the oven's a bit hot, scrape them out because you're going to end up with a burnt gravy. But these are beautifully caramelised. So I'm just going to add a little bit of flour just to thicken it. So if you stir all that in, make a nice, what we'd call a brown roux. Okay, peas go in. Actually, I'm just going to add a little bit of plain water to it. Broccoli and peas are ready. Put this back in the pot. We'll just give that a stir in a second. Then we've got this liquid here.
Yes.
It'll have remnants of broccoli flavour. And then the trick with avoiding lumps is to not add too much liquid at once. And then to make it even more flavoursome,
Yes.
we're going to put in the juices that have come off the lamb. Pour that in. And then we're just going to let that simmer. Okay, so the gravy's made, the mash is done, the peas and broccoli are all good. Veggies are in the oven, plates are in the oven. It's important you serve it on warm plates.
And in terms of when we get ready, because I'm already thinking of having a nice tipple with this, I have my own versions of what I like to drink with this, but I'm going to ask the expert and say, what should I have with this?
Well, lamb for me is a mild Shiraz, or a Pinot Noir, New Zealand Pinot Noir. If you go on to the loveourlamb.co.uk website, they give recommendations of wines to have.
Yes.
But the thing with any wine, like some people only drink white wine and they go, oh, I can't have lamb because I drink white wine. It's not true at all.
No.
A good, robust white wine will stand up to a lovely meal. Right. A spicy meal requires...
Because that's what I was terrified of saying. Because if I'm honest, I prefer a nice white.
Oh, I would go then a Pinot Gris, a Chardonnay, something with a bit of oak, so a Chardonnay works quite well. There's some Sauvignon Semillons out there that have a bit of oak in them as well. Carving a lamb, the bone of the lamb comes round through here, and holding the bone, you just go around and you cut the various bits of meat off. Okay.
Yeah.
Then what you do, you just go through, you try and cut it reasonably thin.
There's movement behind the camera here. Can you feel them inching closer?
So shall we plate up? So how is it?
Oh, majestic, wonderful. Yeah. And for everyone out there who's terrified of it, seeing how simple it is, can't wait to try it myself. If not, I've got your mobile phone number. I'll text. But in the meantime, that is, you've opened my eyes. Absolutely opened my eyes.
Okay, well look, if you want any more hints, tips or recipes, and even some wine hints, go to the website loveourlamb.co.uk and you'll find it all on there.